So we know that all the hose ends are always female, and unfortunately, so is this little gas, the GM slide-on. I'm looking at the screen. So is this GM little slide-on deal. It's also made extra deep. You guys probably saw my last video when I was doing the fuel lines originally that I had to kind of mill down the fitting for that to make it fit deep enough in there to actually bottom out, because it's important with these guys. It's not the threads, so I'll show you here. It's not that you just tighten this down until it's snug that creates the sill. It's that 37-degree flare at the end. They mash into each other, and that's where the sill's created. So that is not bottoming out. So I think what I'm going to do to fix it is I'm just going to cut it in the bandsaw, maybe take 1/8 of an inch off. That should do it, because I'm tired of messing with these guys. I'll show you what I did in my last one. Was I milled this down and made that fit. So that's what we need, and unfortunately we don't have that, so not a big deal. So the other part was I needed a mill-to-mill adapter so I can get the hose end from the 8 to this guy. And I didn't have any, so what we're going to do is I just grabbed some. I have plenty of bungs. I sell these on my website. And what I did is I just hit it with a stepper bit, your regular drill step bit. So so this guy will just fit right in there, and then we'll have a mill to mill, and that'll solve our problem. And it's also super nice and short. I like that. So I'm going to do that now. So check it out. This is the first time I tried to weld bungs together, so it should be interesting. So I just threw these guys in a clamp just to make sure when I tack them they don't whoop, because you're going to want to do that. And we're running a number 5 gas lens, and we'll probably go with like probably 120 hertz, 70 AC balance, and 150, probably 175 amps. That's the plan anyway. So that's it right there. Not too bad for the first time attempt on welding 2 bungs together, I guess. And that's the utility of a TIG welder. That's why I like TIG welders. Am I zoomed in on my face? I'm zooming in. There we go. I'm on sloppy cam, so it might not be as crisp as 4K cam, but it still works. I just dig that you can. There's so much utility in a TIG welder once you get kind of skilled in it. There's
there's just so much you can do when you can just reach in and just pinpoint. You can make a puddle that's literally, a 16th of an inch wide, and then control that puddle, and it just saves you so many times. Because I mean, you have those bungs, and it would have cost $8, and I would have had to wait probably a week, maybe two. Depends if I bought on eBay and it comes from China, I might be waiting a month. But you can just knock it out, and then you're ready to roll on to your next thing. And there's so many times with little things like welding on little tabs that broke off, or stuff like that. It's a lifesaver. So, point being, go buy yourself a TIG machine. I'd love to buy the new Harbor Freight machine. I've seen some of the reviews, and they just kind of leave me wanting, and I'd love to get that. So maybe once business picks up, usually in the wintertime, after people hibernate, go in their garage, the business picks up, and if it does, then I'll get one and do like a comprehensive, just use it. I'll just pack mine away, and we'll just use that one for a while. I think it would be a kind of a cool project to do, 'cause I think there's a lot of utility there. I think that for the money, it's like, I think it's $900, and probably a couple hundred more for like a 3-year warranty, I think. But don't quote me on any of this. I haven't really researched it. I just know the thing's like $900. But let's say you get a 3-year warranty. That's pretty substantial. You have a machine, that you're at what, $1,200, and you got it for 3 years. And if you can't figure out how to TIG weld and make your money back in 3 years, then you've just done something wrong, or you need to find a new hobby or calling in life. But that's incredible, and I'm not down on Harbor Freight. I know a lot of people are, because it's Chinese-made tools, this and that. But I just wonder, on the flip side of that, is how many businesses stood up, off the ground, American-owned businesses, that were carved out from scratch, that wouldn't have had access, just wouldn't have been able to overcome the barriers to entry, where that helped, where they could get in and start their own business, and then, hey, they can, upgrade to whatever they want to. But yeah, anyway, enough of me rambling about TIG welding. You should learn how to TIG weld, and we'll get to getting these lines done. All right, here's some time lapse of installing the lines, because it's very involved and pretty boring to watch, and very time consuming. I just swapped out this little oil guy right here. You guys remember talking about that rubbing? You can see that rub spot on it. And yeah, so there's the stainless steel coil. It comes like this. It's 3/8 inch stainless steel. Of course, I bought it from my favorite place, eBay. And I started laying this guy out, trying to get it straight, stretched it out, and kind of my thinking was, I'll kind of get it stuck at the end where I want it to, and then I'll run it back from there. And I started working on that a bit, and then you see I kind of realized, oh yeah, I'm gonna have to go over the axle and the gas tank and everything that's in the body. So working with the hard line, definitely challenging. Stainless steel stuff, definitely challenging stuff to work with, I'd say. You can see it kind of waving all over the place, and I'm fighting it, trying to get it to turn, and gravity's working against me. Probably, if you had an extra hand, it wouldn't have been so bad. You see, I just clipped off all that stuff that I had sticking through. I tried to, in my mind, pre-bend it. It didn't work out too well, so I just shoved it up there and got it kind of close, and put a kink in it. Hooked up the dash 8 line next to it, and then just kind of started running the two back side by side, using P-clips strategically placed, etc., as we went along. And it wasn't too terribly bad. I mean, it was. So the takeaway here is don't mess with stainless steel tubing. Would be what I have to offer you as my suggestion. But to each his own. The Dash 6 regular line or PTFE line would have been a great choice. Anyway, I'll let you grab a beer, kick back, enjoy the rest of the time lapse here, and thanks for checking it out.
Okay, so fuel system's almost done. It's almost done. I had I'll give you a quick tour, see if I can. So that's the line. The AN line is already plugged into the rail and screwed in, and the stainless steel line will need to be pushed back a little bit and against the firewall, and it's pretty much where it needs to go. And then we just kind of, this is what I had planned, was kind of run it down between the engine right there, through the firewall, through the tunnel. I got tons of room in this tunnel, so that shouldn't be an issue. Keeping it up above the rails. Over here you got a little kinky right there, not too bad though. It's 3/8 return, so and then back around. This is basically the way the stock fuel system ran, and then over and out the back, and that's where it's at right now. It's kind of just hanging here and here, and I must say that stainless steel tube was no joke. I did on it, what I pulled out of it, what I had ran before, was 5/8 inch aluminum tubing, and I was like, that was cake. That was like so easy. This stainless steel tube, way tougher to bend, incredibly springy. It does not want to cooperate. It does not want to play nicely with others, and I was about ready to just pull it all out and just run the the AN6 return PTFE line. But it was cheap, and I like to show you guys, like, how you can do things like, economically. And the whole coil of this stuff wasn't that bad. I can't remember what it was, but I got it off eBay, and I measured the line, and it's right about 15 feet from the front to the back. And then in the little between pumps and stuff, I have maybe a foot there. I always tell people they should probably get about 20 feet and know they have enough on hand, but just measure your stuff well when you get ready to buy, and that won't be an issue for you. They'll help you kind of sort that out. I could finish up, but I'm irritated because I've been fighting that stainless steel line all night long, and like the last hour and a half, and I'm irritated, and I don't want to do anything stupid. And I almost did, because I was like, screw it, I'll just button this up because you're almost at the finish line. And I think that I might, pull on this line. I didn't check the feed to see if I actually, have strain on that, and I don't want to do that. I want to have a little extra line up there so I can, move the feed line in and around and whatever. So I need to check that, and then I need to make sure that everything is double checked and not rubbing, and it's all solid. So I'm gonna just take a break. We'll hit it back up tomorrow. I'll probably have it finished up. And I ordered a hob switch for the secondary pump. And what I'm gonna do is, where I have the T, or this line for the loud valve, I'm just going to tee into it and put a hob switch in the trunk, since I already have all the wiring there and I just need a signal to turn it on. That'll be the shortest way to do it, is hook that to that, and it'll kick on the secondary fuel pump. I just need to wire that with a relay, and yeah, so it's almost done. The fuel system's almost done, and that was a good project to tie us over while we're waiting for end links and stuff for the sway bars. And we're about ready to get this thing pinned back together. We gotta wait for the wheels and the tires to show up. Those were ordered too. So anyway, I'm rambling and I'm tired, and I hope you guys are enjoying this. And anyway, hope you guys enjoy the show, and until next time, this is Mike Monkey Fab signing out.